Hello, everyone. So, Armon Watts was taken number 190th overall, was in the sixth round. He's 6'5", 300 pounds, and he plays the defensive tackle position. For those who do not know, his run defense, I think he carries a low pad level and he has violent hands, and along with his length allows him to kind of anchor and ultimately control the gap that he's in when everything is going well. And I think he has good processing skills to actually identify blocks and attack accordingly. He kind of has a good sense for just blocking schemes in the run game and things of that nature. Pass rush wise, I think he has enough length, vision, and hand usage that can make him effective. And the one issue I really have is he has a lot of late responses that kind of restrict him off the ball. He kind of seems to react late to when the ball is actually snapped, and he's able to, but he is able to work the edges of blockers to kind of soften the edges for himself. And I do need more urgency from him on the whole get off, and he needs to develop some counter moves in order to string together some things that actually would make him a much better pass rusher, even though he did get 7 sacks last year in the college ranks from Arkansas, the SEC. People like SEC players. And I think he could be a much better pass rusher than he is right now. Um, I as far as like just effort things go, it was kind of nice to see him kind of develop into a playmaker as a senior after playing. I think it was like 114 snaps throughout his other years combined, and then he turned into a starter during his senior year. And that was after being a non-factor, so it was kind of nice to see him develop into a playmaker and kind of show that he's going to tough it out. He's going to stick it in there. He's gonna stay there because he probably could have easily transferred to one of these smaller schools, played a lot. Maybe I don't know. He could have gotten drafted higher. Maybe not. We don't know. And things of that nature. And I think he is kind of that fighter in the trenches. He'll really go at it in the phone booth, whatever cliche you would like to put in there, put it in there. Like, that's a high effort whenever he's going up against another blocker. He's very determined to beat the offensive lineman, which is good. But he doesn't really pursue or rally with the same kind of urgency, which is a little disappointing and concerning. So, as far as his hands go, he has very heavy and violent hands. And he's pretty good at winning with first contact. And he's able to place his hands in the correct spot and pretty much able just to extend players away from his frame, helping him in the run game. And he pretty much helps him just to throw blockers away when they're trying to run the ball. That's kind of that's probably one of my favorite things about him. And he does actually have a variety of hand moves that can really be used to get off of those blocks, but he really does need to be able to develop those counter moves I was talking about before, because he doesn't really know how to string things together yet. So he could be much more effective, but we don't really have that yet. And he does have really good leverage and bend just at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage, but I wouldn't call him like an overly loose kind of player, and like just in his lower half, because he really isn't able to, like, he can't turn corners maintaining his speed, or doesn't really change directions well. He's not really the best athlete ever, but he can go forward pretty well, and if you got that get off going, he could be a much better player. And play strength, this is one of his biggest deals. He's a really good at the point of attack. He can just kind of, like, he doesn't get moved one-on-one, and he does really well against those double team blocks, which is, once again, good. He's very physical there, and he does have a bull rush that can actually challenge the anchors of some offensive linemen, which you don't always get. So, especially from a guy who only weighs 300 pounds as opposed to a guy that's like 320, 330, like Linval. So, him being only at that weight, able to do that, is kind of impressive to me. And I think he does show quickness once he really starts to get going, but like I said, too many late responses. I'm not sure if that's a effort thing or just a him not being able to react that quickly or what. But he is able to process blocking schemes rather quickly. So I don't know if that's really a reaction thing. And I don't think his lack of effort, like in the pursuits, really reveal his ability to really close on long distances when he has to kind of run them. I don't think we've necessarily seen the extent of his full athleticism in terms of his actual play speed, and he's not effective moving down up and down the line of scrimmage. He's not really a flowing kind of guy, and he doesn't really go sideline to sideline. And redirecting in space has caused him to miss out on plays before. And I do think he has the ability to produce against both the run and pass, but sorry, does have relatively disappointing range on him. And it could be a unique 5 tech kind of thing to me, given his ability to identify blocking schemes and just play with that extension that he has in order to be effective against those blocking schemes, and his strength. If you combine all that, that's nice. But he also has pass rush potential. So I think he's an intriguing player. I just have some questions whether that get off is due to reacting slow or just lack of effort, because he does have that lack of effort when pursuing people, which I'm assuming will have to change. And I also do question the ability to make the roster, given how it is, because obviously we got Linval, we got Shamar Stephen now back in the fold. Jaleel's a 4th-round pick from a few years ago. You got Jalen Holmes, who's a 4th-round draft pick from last year. And then there's Ifeadi Odenigbo, who people do like, both fans and front office coach people alike in that building. I've heard many reporters say that. So as far as how all that goes into this actual draft grade, I do factor all of that kind of stuff into this, because I'm not sure we really got anyone who can't. I don't think he necessarily provides a different flair, because he's kind of like a lesser Jaleel Johnson to me, but I think you kind of have to push the right buttons to get him going. So I think this is possibly a practice squad kind of candidate here, just partially because of how many people we have there. I'm not sure if he's better than any of those guys or not, but I do think he could end up there. So I give this a C, just because I'm not sure if he can even make the roster, but I do kind of like how intriguing he is, because he can play the position Linval plays, and you still kind of get that bull rush, push the pocket kind of feel. But he has more hand movement in terms of the pass rushing, and he can get you some sacks maybe. You have a more pass rush element to it. And he's intriguing from that standpoint. Just he's already 23. He might be kind of already from a frame standpoint maxed out. So it's just a matter of, can you get him going? But I give it a C. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Till next time, bid y'all adieu.